All right, and we are back. Josh is with me. He's putting on his headphones right now at this moment. I am not going to do an update yet. I'm going to keep you all in suspense of the amount just for a little while longer because we only have 15 minutes left. So you're just going to have to wait a second. So we just had two great celebrities, our last celebrities of the night, and we ended it with Mr. William Wisher talking about his personal experience with his family affected by CDH, the man who was the screenwriter for Terminator 2 and Die Hard. That's pretty amazing. We've had some really kick butt celebrities tonight in this fight against CDH Telethon. So we're really thankful for all the celebrities that we had. And like I said earlier, we already have celebrities submitting for next year. So you're just going to have to wait a year. So I'm excited about that, and I can keep that a secret, Josh. You're going to be surprised. Josh is going to be begging me next week. Who are they? Who are they?
And you'll tell me.
Okay, so maybe. We'll see. So we have 15 minutes left. Josh, can you quickly tell us about your girls?
Okay, so is this better with the headphones?
Yes, so much better. Thank you.
So 2007, we went in for our 20-week anatomy scan, and the technician said, oh, everything's okay, whatever. We'll contact you if there's anything else. We got a phone call the next day, and we're expecting, oh, everything's fine. And they said, we want you to go to a specialist. We saw something. We're not sure what it is. So we went to the specialist. He did more ultrasounds and scans, and he's like, yeah, it's called Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia. Of course, we'd never heard of it. Switched our care over to that doctor, and he basically said that there's a 50% chance of survival. This is what we're going to do. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, we didn't really Google it. We didn't do anything. We just kind of did it on our own. So Evie was born and did pretty good for the first little bit. And we got a phone call in the middle of the night. And she said, and they said, you need to come back over to the hospital. There's some problems. So we went back over. They said that she had like what they call a honeymoon period where she did really good and she was starting to fail. And so they were just doing some tests to see if she was a candidate for ECMO. She was not a candidate for ECMO because she had a small brain hemorrhage, which they said normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, but ECMO would cause that to bleed out. And so we made the decision to take her off of life support because there was really not anything more we could do. And so she was with us for 14 hours. Then fast forward to 2009, we're pregnant again. And, and the first time the doctor said this is just something that happens. We don't know why. It's kind of just like this random fluke thing. So we're like, okay. So we were pregnant again. I'm at work. I'll never forget. I can tell you exactly where I was standing. And my wife calls me and she says, and I knew she had her ultrasound. And she's like, so this baby has CDH2. And I'm like, wait, what? They said that doesn't happen. Like, it's not supposed to happen. She's like, well, it did. So we went through that. Allie was born. She had her repair at 3 days old. She was in the NICU about a month, and she got necrotizing enterocolitis. And during that, treating that, they found out that she had reherniated, so they did a second repair. We finally got to take her home about 3 months, after about 3 months in the NICU. And then just before her first birthday, we took her, the doctor wanted to make sure she didn't have RSV, so we took her back to the hospital. They said, well, she doesn't have RSV, but she's reherniated again. And so she went in for her third repair. There were complications with that repair. She suffered a pulmonary hypertensive crisis and basically died during surgery, but they were able to revive her and make everything was okay. She spent a month in the hospital. Her first birthday was in the hospital. And then she got better all of a sudden. We took her home, and that was the end of February. And in May, one morning, Melanie got up to go get her ready for her physical appointment, and her eyes were rolled in the crib, and she called 911 and did CPR. And they said that she had either had a heart attack and stopped breathing, or stopped breathing and had a heart attack. They weren't sure which. that she'd spent about 20 minutes without oxygen. And so we did the 72-hour observation period with neurology and did a bunch of different things. And they said, you know, there's no increased activity, but basically we can keep her alive for as long as you want, but this is all it's going to be. And so we chose to take her off of life support as well, and she was 15 months old. And so it was after that, then Melanie was actually on Facebook, and she found a Grieving Moms group, and she was talking about it. And this lady says, oh, well, have you ever heard of cherubs? And so because of that, then we looked it up, and that's when we found cherubs. So we went through both pregnancies, both diagnoses, both deaths, basically with nothing more than just family support. We had no one else who knew what was going on or understood what was, and it wasn't until afterward that we found that. Or we found cherubs, and we met our first CDH family in 2011, and that was Hope, and which seems weird that it was only 7 years ago, because it seems like we've known each other forever. And so I went to the conference in San Francisco in 2012, and I've been to every conference since. So we just kind of jumped in and never stopped.
You know, you and Melanie both have been very involved in the charity, and we restructured last year, and now you're on the research side with me, whereas you were on the CPAP side for support for a long time. And we've got some really exciting things happening in the research world. And Josh was with me and Rachel in Liverpool, along with Fanny from the French group and Luisa from the Spanish group, who you met earlier. And we were able to sit and listen to all the latest CDH research. And we will share that as it's published. Many things we see in these conferences we cannot share until it's published. It's proprietary information. But to see how much the research has grown for CDH, plus going to Capitol Hill and NIH meetings, and Josh has been, we've been everywhere. I mean, you're like my brother, literally. I see you more than my family. So
we've been a lot of places together.
We have. We've literally traveled the world fighting CDH together, and it's been quite a journey, and we're on the precipice of doing much more. And so 2018 has been an exciting year so far. So we've got 10 minutes left, Josh. And is there anything that we need to say other than donate? Donate to the cause. We have 10 minutes left. Now, we're going to give you a number at 11 o'clock. It will not be the final number because we have people who are mailing checks in. So we're not going to have a final number until, well, probably at the end of the month, the last day of April, when we'll announce the final number. That'll give everybody 2 weeks to get those checks in. And even if we meet the goal, please send the checks in. Every penny helps. This is just a goal. This is not what is needed. What is needed is many millions of dollars in research and support services and information and awareness that these children deserve. So, but $50,000 will go a long way to helping the cause, help a lot of families and a lot of research. And so we're very appreciative of every who has reached deep into your wallets to help today on CDH Awareness Day. And we have a train going by, so I don't know if you hear that. It's a little bit loud. We're right next to the train tracks here in North Carolina. So it's actually been pretty quiet all night. So as we have been here talking about stories of different families and research, we've had other families out in the field, as we call it, looking at light ups all night, all over Canada and the U.S., different buildings, and lighting up for CDH awareness. And next year, hopefully, we'll figure out a way that we can do a live location feed from those light ups, and to be able to get everyone a little bit more prepared on how to do the live videos. I think we did pretty darn good for people who have no idea what we're doing. We really don't. But we did. I think the team did a great job. So thank you to Dallas and Rachel and Tracy and Hope and Laura and and Amanda, and I'm not going to remember everyone's name. I've been up a really long time. But just know that we appreciate every one of you, and it's taken an entire village to put together this telethon, and that is no exaggeration. But we did a great job, and Liz driving out here to help us all day long too. And I'm a little bit disappointed that no one donated $2,000 to see Liz's scar. It's not too late though. I mean, we can get her back on like that to show that scar for $2,000. She'll do it. So if any time someone wants to make that happen, we can make that happen. Josh knows Liz, and he knows that I'm telling the truth. So we can get her to do that.
High.
The 2,000? No, we want it to be high.
Well, that's true.
All right. So we want to have, yeah. We don't just. I am tired, and anything I say about that's not going to come out appropriate for a children's telethon. So I'm just going to change the subject and talk about the fact that we have 7 minutes left in this telethon, and we're doing some the team over here is dancing around, which must be good news, right? Jumping up and down. So I'm going to make you guys wait for another 7 minutes because more money is coming in. And let's see what the total for the night is. So now, if you're going to miss our lovely faces after seeing us all day, we have 6 minutes. You can see me and Josh and Rachel in Washington, D.C. next week if you want to lobby with us, or you can help at home. But we're going to be up on Capitol Hill, shaking hands and marching babies around with wings, making them look all cute. Well, they already look cute. We don't have to do that part. But raising some awareness on the Hill to try to get more funding for these kids. So we've got some different legislation coming out this year. I'm not going to tell you what it is until it's introduced, so that way the families can be surprised, and then we can pound the pavement in your home states, and we will be harassing all of you to do that. So not only are we going to be in D.C. this year, but we're really, really going to push the new Facebook application that allows us to do some more lobbying easily through Facebook. Some of you don't even have to get up off your sofas or take away from your phones, and we can do this. How easy is that to lobby right from your couch? Isn't that great? So we're going to be doing that, and we've got 5 minutes left. Josh, what else do we want to say? I just want to do a huge shout out to everyone on all the boards who've been working so hard the past year, all the volunteers who well, they all know that I hear, Dawn, you're crazy quite often because we dream really big around this charity, and I must be crazy for doing this for 23 years, right? Obviously. But when I went to the boards and said, hey, I want to restructure the entire charity and to do more medical research, and I want to step away from cherubs and hand that off and focus solely on research, they said, have you lost your mind? We were just about to close our doors, and now you want to change everything? How are we going to do that? And at that point, we figured, what do we have to lose, right? I mean, the whole goal is being the world's largest CDH charity was to save some babies. And no amount of tote bags and holding hands is going to save babies. It's important. Those are important things that need to be done, but those are not going to save a single life. And so all the boards said, Dawn, you're crazy. Let's do this. And we did it. And look how much we've done in the past year, Josh. It's incredible. It is incredible. It blows my mind what we've done.
If we could just tell half of what we know and have seen and know what's coming, it is.
And we will. And we don't want to be
that proprietary information. And we will. We will.
It's really. We will. We just have to abide the researchers. They're the big bosses in the research of CDH, and so we're excited for all of the things that are happening in the community. And also, Josh and I are going to be in Barcelona in June, and we're going to present the first CDHi charity accreditations, and that's exciting too. That is, we are raising the level of CDH responsibility and collaboration in the world. And we're working with some incredible people there, so we're excited about that. So there are so many wonderful things happening in the CDH world all around. And survival rate is going to go up soon too, and accreditation for hospitals is happening. We haven't talked much about that, but we're going to start accrediting hospitals. That's pretty amazing. That is really amazing. So, Josh, when we met like 5 years ago, did you ever think we'd be here? 5, 6 years? I don't know you so long.
Yeah,
it feels like forever.
6 years. I know, same thing with 6 years ago in San Francisco. But I was going to say really quick, just to close up, when you're talking about donations, which obviously we need to keep the doors open and go to these conferences and make these connections and expand, and our international footprint has grown so much. But in addition to donating, I think the single most important thing people can do is the lobbying, like we talked about. I've been to DC, I think this will be my 4th or 5th year going to DC, and that makes the biggest impact. So I just tell everybody, if you can't make it this year, plan on it next year. The more people we have, the more offices we get into, the more faces we see, and the more faces we see, the more action and support we get on Capitol Hill to get some real funding and make some real headway. And
Absolutely.
Another plug for conferences, for family conferences. So
yeah.
I've been to a lot of family conferences, and I'll say that. And just recently, actually just tonight, one of the families that I've met at one of these conferences contacted and said, and had some struggles. We'll just put it that, because they asked not to share any details. But because of that, they knew who to call. They knew, and they knew who to reach out to. They knew that they could contact us. They knew that we understood. They knew they could tell us. And I mean, it was pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing experience to know that was the first people they thought of immediately were those of us that they've been able to meet through these conferences and do that. So I want to, if you have the opportunity to go and attend one of our conferences, you need to.
Absolutely. And that's a great ending to what the cherub side does at CDHi and the research side. And are you ready, Josh? Are you ready for the total for 11 o'clock?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm just going to go slow. Can you see this? Can you see this? This way. This way. Right here. Close to my face. Here. There. Oh, look at that. Can you read that out loud? Because now I can't see it.
51,388.
And we did it. We did it. That is wonderful. So, way to go. Way to go, everybody. We're setting the standard really high for next year, aren't we? We're gonna do even better. This is great. So thank you everyone who has donated. We'll have a final total at the end of the month once all the checks come in. We're so grateful. We're so grateful that everyone has helped us help these children. We're so grateful for your patience for the last 15 hours. And if you have listened to me talk all day and I haunt your dreams tonight, I'm sorry, but it's been worth it, because we're going to help a lot of families. Thank you to Dallas and Rachel, who have been here with me since 6:30 this morning and have gone above and beyond to help these kids. We really appreciate them and everyone. And at that, I'm going to shut up and say goodnight. You all. And Rachel's got, did you just cut me off? No. Okay, sorry. I don't hear anything. And with that, we've got one final video to say goodnight with. And we'll see you all online. Have a great night. Bye-bye.